What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Humble Way checking in with you. Recently found out I got over 100 subscribers now. Gotta say I appreciate that. It's been a rough 2-year journey. Started off when really making videos like that. Maybe one or two every 3, 4, maybe 5 months. Then just recently this year with the addition of Tua going to the Dolphins, I actually decided to get more involved in making videos and giving my opinion and put myself out there. So thank you to the YouTube community for actually liking my content, even commenting on some of my videos and give me a chance to actually be heard. I'm not the greatest analyst in the world, but I do give a logic perspective. It may not come across like other people do, but I try to be genuinely open-minded and very, very honest about how I think about a player and what they contribute to the game or the sport that they play. With that being said, again, I appreciate you guys for the love and support. Like I said, it's been rough, but I'm still learning this video thing. Still trying to edit my videos and actually trying to learn how to do it and also build an introduction. As you see, I just get straight to talking once I hit the record button. So I would like to build a nice introduction. It doesn't be long, with a little music and maybe a picture or two of my family in the background or whatever. But I'll get to that, I guess, down the road. Anyway, I actually took time to read the article concerning the 3 players that were evaluating Tua. With that being said, I can't say that they were wrong in their evaluation, but I will say that it's unfair to simply throw him under the bus after only 9 games. I know what people say, well, he didn't do well, he was a bust, he didn't show us enough, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. However, if you looked at most of the games, Tua was simply not trying to lose the game. He actually did a lot to try to keep the offense on the field, but unfortunately, the play calling and the route running that his receivers were doing, he only throw it where he feels it's safe. He's not going to take a lot of risks. He's not going to take a lot of deep shots down the field. Now, if you give him that, he's going to take it. But if it's already covered, he's not going to throw in double coverage. Hardly. The only example I can think of was the Kansas City game where he threw between 3 people, but he put it between Thornhill and Gronkowski. And Gronkowski made a hell of a concentration catch because other than that, it should have been picked off. But it became a touchdown. So it is a testament to how accurate he really is. As far as them saying that the only trait they see is accuracy, that's not entirely true. Before his hip injury, Tua was actually very, very athletic. He could escape the pocket when necessary, and he could make people miss. He actually still showed that in some of the games. The Patriot game, for instance, on the 5-yard line, when he dropped back on the 3rd down play, he pumped off the corner, ran up, juked the incoming linebacker and got in the end zone. That was one play against the Cardinals. He juked Baker, the safety, to get a 1st down. He also shook loose from spinning the wrong way inside the pocket to escape 2 other defenders, to race down to maybe the 10-yard line to get a 1st down on a critical drive in which they scored a touchdown on. So he's shown that he can still be agile and mobile. He's not really a sitting duck in the pocket. He doesn't sit like a statue in the pocket and just throw the ball. He can, but he also tries to improvise as much as he can. He's much more of a throw on the run, meaning that he will look for somebody to pass the ball to, more so than just taking off and running. That's not his strength. However, if he needs to run, he can. He's showing that. So, in that regard, to that player, Tua is still very athletic. You have to give him an offseason, which he has now, to train his body, to get his strength and conditioning under control, and to learn more and more about this offense, especially the new OC, whoever that may be. I feel like Tua would get very, very personal with him, try to soak as much of the offense up as he spits out to him. I also think the playbook can open more from week 1 because they're gonna want to see how much Tua can actually handle. Maybe mix it up a little bit, tempo, non-tempo, RPOs, single backs, shotgun, all kinds of different formations, just to give an idea of what he can and can't do. Use the pistol a little bit here and there. Just different implementations show to expand his game beyond just being a drop back pocket passer. Nothing wrong with that, but play to more to his strength. He's not Tom Brady. He's not gonna just drop back and just sit and wait. I mean, he waits for somebody to get open, but if they don't, then eventually he has to take off or he'll take a sack. I wish, like this upcoming season, what I want to see Tua work on is actually getting rid of the ball. If it's not there, throw it out of bounds. Because his rookie year, I saw some passes where he actually threw it to the defender and they picked it off, but it was called back by a flag, or 9 times out of 10 it was a flag, or they dropped the pick. So I've seen a lot of those near interception plays or intercepted / callback plays that he did do, but because those are not stat lines, then they didn't count against him. But that has to be cleaned up by him. I'm not going to sit there and say it hasn't. I'm sure he's aware of that as well after looking at game film. So I think he'll actually do better this upcoming season. It was another defensive player that said that he doesn't feel that Tua would have the necessary traits to actually go against Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, and I guess Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. That's it. Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and Josh Allen, who's really, it's only 2 elite teams, the Bills and Chiefs. I mean, the Texans aren't even on the Dolphins level, so we're not gonna go there. But Deshaun is a proven commodity at quarterback. To that I say, again, Tua's gonna get better. If I didn't believe in his skill set or his talent, I wouldn't be saying wasting my time talking about it. But I've seen him progress. I've seen him grow. I've seen him develop. I've seen him acquire much more knowledge on the fly or on the job than he ever did, through just looking on the sideline. I mean, it helps. In the pros, it helps sometimes to actually sit and watch. But then again, some people learn on the job. Some people learn from the sideline. I believe that Tua is one of those guys that he learns on the job. It's not as helpful for him to sit and watch. Not like a Jordan Love or, a Patrick Mahomes or somebody like that, because what you see on the sideline is much more different than what you see in the game. That's why every time he came off the field, he went straight to who? Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I don't slight Fitzpatrick at all. Like I said, I felt like the players did play much more in tune with Fitz because of the play calling and the veteran leadership, and the fact he's been in office for 5 years, so he can actually put the ball in tight spaces where he knows the guy's gonna make the catch. With Tua, it's not like that. He's still learning what NFL Open is. By next season, after the preseason games are done, when week 1 rolls around, he'll have a much general idea of NFL Open, which means he'll be more willing to release the ball more, to get them into catching after the catch or making plays after the catch or getting them in rhythm to where the offense is steadily moving down the field. Are they going to stall sometimes? Absolutely. Are they going to have 3 and outs? Absolutely. Does that mean that, games are far from the loss? No. He's going to score points. But he's also going to, have episodes where the team stall or whatever the case may be. It's not going to all fall on him because, again, from the Bills game up to this point, everybody that knows Dolphins football, the Dolphins fan base, they keep asking the same thing. Just get him weapons. Get him a line. With his 3rd pick, if you pick Devontae Smith, great. At least you have an offseason to get his thumb together or his finger, which by then it should be healed and he should be good to go. He'll be able to build sync with Tua, and if they hopefully get another receiver in the 2nd round and they build with him hopefully he can get a run back as well, and they build, and you'll see how much more different this offense really is. Outside of that, I just don't want to see. Don't do that. I just don't want to see him being traded, because to me, if he gets traded to Houston, then what does he really got there besides Will Fuller? So you take him from the Dolphins, put him in a much worse situation, because Houston doesn't have an outstanding defense. So they don't have a solid defense. By the way, neither does the Dolphins. Dolphins only improved in scoring. So their defensive scoring went from 1 to 6. So they don't have the best, defense, but it was decent enough to keep them in games. Now Houston defense gives up scores, so if their opponent is scoring and you can't score because of offensive efficiencies, can you really blame Tua for that? If you don't put anything around him outside of, maybe Will Fuller, and I don't know who their tight end is, but if they don't have a running game they can rely on to get them into rhythm of passing, then, how much more can you really put on the kid? Because Deshaun Watson is facing that right now, and from the looks of it, he may not be playing next year. It just depends, and I also was looking at headlines of, the Jets might be in the running to get him. Do I agree with that? They could use him, but that don't mean they're gonna necessarily pick him up or trade to get him. So, but they have the leverage. They have the picks and they have the cap space. The Dolphins don't. So it's gonna be interesting to see exactly what happens with that situation. But that was really it on that topic. I also want to talk about the Brooklyn Nets. So, as you guys know, James Harden was in a blockbuster trade that sent him to Houston. Well, sent him not to Houston, sent him to Brooklyn, where he paired up with KD and Kyrie. And Brooklyn sent some assets to Indiana and Cleveland, and Houston got a lion's share of picks for James Harden. Now, was it a smart trade? Yes. In the long run, James will probably win 1 or 2 titles with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, from what I've seen so far, it seems like he's very, very determined to win one this year. He's actually more willing to accept his role as being, I'm not going to say second fiddle, but being a facilitator / scorer / teammate to that of KD, because right now Kyrie's not out there. The real question becomes, once Kyrie comes back, how does Kyrie go from point to 2? Which they may have to make that switch, because to me the offense flows fluently with James at point. With Kyrie at point, it's gonna come to a halt because he's not big on getting people involved. He's just not. And I guess it's just his playing style, but the way he plays, it's more like a standoffish, like, watch me do my thing type of thing. And with James, from what I've seen the last 2 games, he's going to get his, but he makes sure you get yours. If you're cutting to the basket, if you're getting open on the 3-point line, he's makes sure he hits you so you can get a very, very high percentage shot. There was a point in the game, I think they were down 122 to 123 or something like that. James Harden shot a 3, he missed. He chased down the offensive rebound. He got out the air, immediately kicked it over to the top of the key where KD was, and KD pulled up for an uncontested 3-pointer that he made, which made it 125, 123. So he's the last 2 games, well, his first 2 games for Brooklyn, he's averaged 30, and he's averaged like 12 assists a game. So he's been consistent with his play. Now once Kyrie comes back, it's just a matter of how he handles it, how he will transition, and what they plan to do with him to help the team grow. Me personally, I would keep that mesh going, but I would probably ask James to come off the bench to help the second team, Because if you can keep that unit flowing offensively, then KD and Kyrie can actually rest longer, and you'll preserve them throughout the season. Because 72 games, they already played. They've already played 15 games, so they got 57 more to go. So you don't want to wear them down or have them playing their best ball 57 straight games. You prefer for them to win anywhere between like 40 games, so that'll give them 51 wins, which is pretty damn good, especially in the East. So it gives you that second, maybe third seed. You can get a home game. You'll be hosting a playoff series, and you can go into the first round fresh instead of being beaten up. So it gives them a solid chance to actually make noise in the postseason. Brooklyn they look good. They look good. They didn't give up a whole lot. I mean, they gave up what's his name? Ladarius or Kavarius LeVert and Jared Allen and some picks, but that's really about it. They didn't give up nothing else serious. They didn't give up Joe Harris, DeAndre Jordan, or I forgot the other kid's name, but they didn't give up those players, which means that KD still has a solid core around him outside of the addition of James Harden. So it's a great thing for them. I mean, right now they're 9-6, so they're on their way. They play again tomorrow night against they got the first game too. I think I want to say it's the Magic, or I'll have to look it up. But they got the first game tomorrow night. It's at 7, so I'll be definitely checking up on the game cast to see how it's going. Outside of that, guys, I mean, I'll be doing more videos. Oh yeah, I did want to speak on one thing. So as far as the draft goes, the first 2 rounds are going to be the most interesting to me, because the Dolphins have 4 picks between those 2 rounds. So the direction they take will impact the franchise as far as next season goes. Hopefully they'll do what's right, get an offensive playmaker with either the 3rd or the 18th pick. There's no way Devontae Smith falls 18 spots. So if the Dolphins will get him, somebody else will. Preferably, I'd rather have Devontae, but I know Miami, they may go bigger and get Jamar Chase. He's not Devontae, but he's bigger. Now, Devontae can put on muscle mass, and he still can keep his speed. He doesn't have top-line speed, but he can separate. He's that deceptive that when he gets away from you, you don't even realize it until he's like 20 yards down the field. He's already completely separated from you. So if you can get that, plus the way that he catches the ball, he doesn't really drop anything. No matter if it's a contested or not, he won't drop it. Now, transition to the NFL, I want to see how he adjusts to those hits and that coverage, but I think he should do fine. I would like to see if they can grab a running back as well. You got Najee, you got Eli from Clemson. Either back is fine with me. They both catch out the backfield, they both can block, they both can make the players miss. So the second round should be, one of them still should be there. And I also like to see them get a defensive lineman. Hopefully, Beermore would be in the early second round, so we can snatch him up, because he was a dog in the championship game. He was a dog, so as long as he stays mentally there, he'll be fine. He'll be all right. I also think he can impact the defense immediately, because he need that monster up in the front, in the trenches. Because if he can open things up for Wilkins and Davis and put him down, and Najiku coming out there, I said his name wrong. If they can open up things for him coming to the edge and other players, it's going to make that front four vicious, and they'll be hard to deal with, which will make the linebacker job easier, and Byron Jones, the X-Man. And hopefully they'll be able to get Justin Simmons. Hopefully they can lure him from Denver, because if they can get him, that secondary will be completely shored up. So you won't see any glaring weaknesses, because you have a veteran safety who's proven, who can actually make defensive sound calls and get the coverages correct and read the offense and know exactly what they're doing and how they're moving the ball. So it'll make a huge difference on the defense end of the ball. But it's going to be an interesting offseason. Got 2 months before the draft, so pretty sure a lot of moves have been made. I'm going to continue to go on the Dolphins site and see what's going on, see what's being said. I'll do some research in terms of what Flores and the GM is trying to do, if they are considering trading Tua, which I highly doubt, because, I mean, again, he's only gave you a very small sample size of 9 games. That's all he did. And in 9 games, he completed 194 passes, 1,814 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 5 picks, with a passer rating of 96.2. So to me, he had a pretty good rookie year, and with 9 games on his belt. Was it Michael Vick type? No. I mean, but he's shown that he has tremendous promise. He's had like 4 or 5 games over 200 yards and 2 games over 300. Now the Bills game really shouldn't count that, but garbage yards are still yards. So he still got over 316 yards, or 361, which is his season high. But at that time, he's thrown over 58 times with no running game. They barely averaged 2 yards a carry against the Bills defense, who got lit up against the Colts, who actually maintained a balanced attack throughout the entire game. They just made costly errors toward the end of the game. Outside of that, they should have beat the Bills. And Baltimore has no passing game, so how can you beat the Bills? They can run the ball, but Lamar has issues with passing. So you can't beat them unless you're completely balanced. Now Kansas City got a problem on their hands because they're not a balanced offense, but neither is the Bills. So somebody's running game got to show up on Sunday. Who's it going to be? Because we know the weapons that Kansas City got. We also know that the Bills have Stephon Diggs, who's the best receiver right now in the league, and they also have John Brown. But will that be enough to actually put them over the hump? I don't know. Because Singletary, he started off decent, but now he's disappeared. So is that the offensive line issue, or is that more so that he was, a one-time wonder as a rookie? So somebody has to have a running game to be present to win the AFC Championship. I'm just saying. And as far as the Packers and Bucks go, I looked at the Bucks game against the Saints. They were not that impressive. They just benefited off of turnovers, which is very smart coaching and very, heads-up play by Tom Brady in the offense, knowing they have to cash in on stupid plays by the Saints offense where they threw picks and stuff like that. So we'll see what they do against Aaron Rodgers, because that 38-10 beatdown, their offense is nothing like it does now. So I don't believe they're going to hold Aaron Rodgers 10 points no more. I just don't believe that. I won't be surprised they hang up 40 on the Bucks. I won't be surprised. But that's enough of this video, guys. Like I said in the beginning, appreciate the 100 subscribers. To each of you, I say thank you, because I know you didn't have to do it. I will be coming up more videos as I go along. Be on the lookout for the NFC and the AFC Championship review video. I'll do a breakdown of the game and what I saw, and the Super Bowl preview of who I think might win or whatever. And then I'll go right into the NBA season. But I'll be sprinkling football, and I don't do baseball, so I won't be doing the videos about that. But majority football and basketball, and things like that. So, all right, guys, peace.